Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know the album is coming along. It's almost done. Just fine-tuning some of the mixes. It's taking a little longer than I expected. My apologies, the new job and everything. But anyways, I wanted to let you guys know I did an interview with Schaffer the Darklord that I'm going to be sharing with you. And also, I will be, before the album comes out, I will be doing a music video for one of the songs. Haven't decided which one yet, so that'll be a surprise. But anyways, here is my interview with Schaffer. Enjoy. Alright, so I gotta ask, in relation to your last album, who were you betting on for Battlefront?
I was always betting on Ariel. I have a day job in an office, and it was kind of a point of contention among everybody there, because everybody universally accepted Times New Roman as the font that we should all use, and I had lobbied for Ariel forever to no avail. So I wrote a song where my font got to win. But that really didn't inspire the song. It was seriously, the entire song was based on a typo that cracked me up.
Sounds good.
Because I meant to type Battlefront.
Oh. as in like the Star Wars game?
Yeah.
Oh,
precisely.
Okay. How long have you been working on Sick Passenger? Is it an idea that like you've had for years and just were waiting to get out, or was it just like the next logical progression after Manslaughter?
No, it was an idea that I'd had for a long time that took me so long to execute that by the time I finally did, it became something different. I knew it was going to be. I wanted to do something that was more like introspective and raw and revealing, and not based so much on references and punchlines, but something that was kind of honest and made me feel kind of vulnerable in front of my audience. It became the idea that was going to take place during a therapy session maybe 2 years ago, but as I was working on it, and it took me 2 years to finish it, it really kind of evolved into becoming a much more personal project than I even anticipated.
So it did, to an extent, start out as kind of an autobiographical record.
I didn't know it was going to be quite so. I didn't originally intend to use it as a vehicle to call myself out on all of my crappy behavior, but that kind of came about. I'm actually in therapy while making the record, and so a lot of my actual therapy sessions are kind of echoed in the material on the album. So I was kind of learning stuff about me as I was making the song, so it kind of informed the process.
Cool. Okay. One of my favorite songs off of your... Yeah, this looks really unprofessional. I'm like, hang on, I gotta remember what I wrote.
Does he need to get in frame?
He's like drifting out of the frame. I didn't want to say something.
Okay, sorry. The free collection you put out, Junk Drawer. I'm sure you can probably guess by my shirt. One of my favorite songs off the record is My Dinner with Jello. Being that that's the case, have you ever met the man in person?
Yes.
What was he like?
He was cool. He's a really good sport about that song. When I made that song, it's an old one. It's 11 years old at this point. And I lived in San Francisco at the time, which is where Alternative Tentacles is and where Jello lives. And when I lived there, I had sent the song to his attention. He doesn't use email, so he has staffers read email to him, like they're, telegrams.
Right.
But I'd sent it to him, and I didn't get a response. Eventually, somebody from AT wrote to me and said that he'd heard it, he liked the song, and I was so flattered that he liked it, I figured he'd be insulted. And so I started inviting him to every single show. I'd write to the AT staff, everyone. They never came. And then it was like probably 2 years after I left San Francisco, and I was on tour, and I was back. Well, I was on tour, and I was playing in San Francisco, and I was the last act, and I played my last song, and I just stopped doing that song on my set every night, and I finished. And I turned around to start setting up or get my merch handy to run over to the table, and he was there. He'd been there. He'd seen the end of my set. He came up and made this kind of big scene about it. He was like, I'm so scrambling to get my ducks in a row, and then I hear this telltale voice over my shoulder said, "You didn't play my goddamn song." And there he is, this guy that I've idolized all my life. And, so I just freaked out, grabbed the microphone, screamed at the sound guy, like, turn off the lights, turn off the house music. I have to do one more. So I got to do it for him standing at the front, and he was really cool about it. He was a really good sport.
That's very awesome.
And I just about died because I was such a lifelong fan. And I want your T-shirt. Actually, I was a friend was over at my apartment recently, and I had this box of old photos out, and I found my high school, my senior year yearbook photo, and I'm wearing the black version of that T-shirt in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they made a black version of the shirt.
They did. Well, at least they did 400 years ago when I graduated high school.
Okay. You hold the honor of being the first guest rapper on an MC Chris record.
Yes, that's true.
Were the lyrics written for you in advance, or did you write them yourself? Or
No, Jesse Dangerously and I are both on that track. MC Chris is Dead. We were both commissioned to write 16-bar verses. There was just some editing done for the length of the song. I believe his was cut down to 8, and mine was cut down to 2 and looped for the hook. But no, they were not written for me. But there's still there's the remaining 14 bars that I wrote that I thought had some good punchlines in there. But
floating around somewhere on your computer.
It's on my computer somewhere. I can't remember it, so I'm definitely not going to recite it.
Junk drawer volumes.
Yeah, maybe it'll. I am actually. There will be a junk drawer too. Ooh, you just got a scoop.
I did. If you were a sandwich, what would you be made of?
I'm not a big sandwich person. And here's the reason why. It's not that I don't like bread and meat and vegetables. I think they're all delightful. It's that I don't like mustard or mayonnaise, and that kind of ruins all sandwiches. Because you're eating a dry sandwich. I know. I'm a bad American.
You're standing in the presence of somebody who does that all the time and gets criticized for it.
Does what?
Sandwiches without mayo, mustard.
Who does that? Yeah?
Yeah.
If I were a sandwich, I would be peanut butter and jelly on toasted bread.
Awesome. That's the answer I was hoping for.
That's my jam.
Okay. I've gathered from... I'm sorry. This is like really awkward.
You're doing a great job.
All right.
In spite of the fact that it's 2 degrees and you're probably dying. You're doing a great job.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I've watched some of your YouTube videos, and I've gathered from them that you usually... or you record your music on your home computer. You do your vocals at home and everything. Out of curiosity, what kind of equipment do you use?
I do everything on a Macintosh and Pro Tools. And I have a vocal booth in my apartment where I record all the vocals, and then I do all of the editing and comping of the vocal tracks because I'm a little obsessive, so I record a lot of vocal takes. I get them all kind of assembled and get them all lined up nicely, and I pick the best takes, and then I send them to somebody else to do actual mixing because I'm not good at it after all these years. I'm not good at mixing my own stuff or anything. But I did that. It was a means to avoid paying for studio time anymore because I would really go into very strict ideas. I just didn't want to continue battling with recording engineers.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it's all recorded in Pro Tools. Any beat sequencing that I do is usually done in Reason. Well, it used to be done in Reason, and I've recently upgraded Pro Tools. I've been using a very old version, and now I can do sequencing in that too.
Do you like, or do you have a particular microphone you're really fond of?
No, just a nice. And that doesn't have to be particularly nice. Just a nice condenser. My mic is serviceable, and I've gotten good sounds out of it. It wasn't particularly fancy. I just feel like as long as everything's captured well, you have a lot of wiggle room to make it better post production.
Right.
I'm all about post-production, making my music digestible and my voice tolerable to an audience.
As a musician, I'm in the same boat. Although usually my response to everything is to turn my vocals down as low as humanly possible.
Well, yeah. That's an error I've made a lot of times too, and I'm feeling like not completely confident with what I'm saying. And just maybe if I just kind of go back a little. I realize that usually means rewriting and not changing the hear you. Yes. Write something that you can stand beside, and then
exactly. All right.
That's all right.
Next question. Did you finally ship the black box off to Abu Dhabi?
No, I still have the black box. the black box was kind of used as a bit of a character, kind of the early days of my act. I thought I was going to make this web series. It was playing a character, and I used to have kind of interactive bits with it on stage, and it's had some like cameos as a voice actor of sorts on some of the records, but I haven't really done that quite so much more anymore now. It's kind of been demoted to just a gear case. It's just something to carry my stuff in now, but I still use it all the time. People still get excited to see it when I break it out. It's here. I always use it.
As a fellow musician, I gotta ask, when you, I gather from a lot of your stuff that you do a lot of the production, a lot of the beats, and all that kind of stuff. But I know, reading through the credits on Manslaughter, you do have people come in and contribute. Sure. Guitar parts here, synth parts, drum programming, whatever. What is it like when you have a very specific idea in your head and you say, okay, I want somebody else to come in and help me finish this? How hard is it to say, do your thing?
It's not so hard. I used to like build a lot of my beats from scratch. But then some of the beats would be friends of mine who make beats would send me something, and that I would take the stems and rearrange, like create an arrangement from it. Create choruses and verses and bridges and whatnot out of that. Sometimes I'd remove some of their instruments, add some of my own. I would basically take stuff that was mostly finished from other people, and then I would manipulate it and give it kind of my own additions. There's one of the guys that I've worked with the most is a guy named Dave Famous, who's done more of my beats than anybody else. And our working relationship has gotten strong enough now that I can actually go to him and say, I want this specific thing. Like, there's a song on my new album called The Opener, and I really knew what I wanted it to sound like, and so I made this really shitty version of it. Like, just terrible. And I tried to explain to him what it was that I wanted, and doing it in text didn't work, so I made this crappy version, like a mock-up of it, and gave it to him, and he just, like, a couple days later took that thing and made an awesome thing. It's not so hard, but I think he's the only one that I have a strong enough relationship with that I would do that. That I would say, hey, I made something garbage. Can you spend the time making this thing? Like doing a cover of this, but making it better, basically.
So he's almost, to you, he's almost like the Mikey Clark shape.
Fair enough, yeah. And
not that I'm comparing you to ICP.
Sure, no, but he's like, yeah, he plays that role. That's it.
And my final question: Skinny Puppy, Pure Ubu, or Mackie, and why?
God. I'm gonna go Pear Ubu because Pear Ubu.
End of story.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
And I look forward to your performance tonight at Nerdsplosion in Ann Arbor.
Oh, I'm gonna rap all over the place.
All right.